Welcome students. Let us continue with the chapter 5, that is therapeutic approaches. So today we are going to cover three subtopics under it. That is first is nature and process of psychotherapy. Second subtopic is therapeutic relationship, and the third is classification of psychotherapies on the basis of parameters. So let us continue. Nature and process of psychotherapy. So students, in psychology, psychologists try to solve emotionally or try to solve the client's problems, and while solving their problems, psychologists use number of techniques known as psychotherapies, and the psychologist who use these techniques or psychotherapies is known as psychotherapist. So there are various types of psychotherapies available. So now let us try to understand first what is psychotherapy. So psychotherapy is a kind of voluntarily relationship between the one who seeks treatment, or we can say the client, and the one who treats, that means the therapist. So the aim of this relationship is to help the client to solve the psychological problems which the client is facing. So we can say that the relationship is built on the trust of the client, so that the problem of the so that the client can freely discuss his or her problems. And psychotherapy is also aims at changing the behaviors which are not adaptive, or we can say which are maladaptive. So and also the psychotherapy aims at decreasing the client's distress, and helping the client to adapt better to his or her environment. And also psychotherapies or the psychologist also try to solve the occupational problems of the client, marital problems of the client, and they also help the client in social adjustment. Now we will try to understand the characteristics of the psychotherapy. So students, now it is very clear that the first characteristic of the psychotherapy is that it involves a special relationship between the client and the therapist. That means between the one who seeks treatment and or who seeks help, and the another one who help the client, that is therapist. So the another characteristics of the psychotherapy is that there are certain building blocks of this relationship, that is confidentiality, that is the trust of the client on the therapist, and it is an interpersonal relationship, and it is a dynamic relationship. Why we say it as dynamic? Because it is the nature of the relationship changes over the period of time, because when the therapist feels that now there is a need to terminate the relationship, then he terminates, then he ends the relationship. So another characteristic of the psychotherapy is person who have received practical training under expert supervision. Only that psychologist can give psychotherapies. And the another and the one more characteristics of the psychotherapy is that there are certain principles underlying each psychotherapies, as it is very clear that there are different types of psychotherapies available. So in each psychotherapy there are certain principles which we apply, which psychologist or
Goals of
psychotherapist apply
psychotherapy.
to solve.
Now students, there are
client's
certain
personal
goals
distress.
of each psychotherapy. First is reinforcing clients' resolve for betterment.
Second, listening emotional pressure, unfolding the potential for positive growth, modifying habits. If the psychotherapist find that there is a need to modify the habits of the client, then he works on that only. Then changing thinking pattern, increasing self-awareness, improving interpersonal relations and communication, facilitating decision making, becoming aware of one's choices in life, relating to one's social environment in a more creative and self-aware manner. Now we will try to understand what is therapeutic relationship. See, the special relationship between the client and the therapist is known as the therapeutic relationship or alliance. See, it is not a temporary relationship, not a permanent and lasting relationship. That's why we call it as dynamic relationship. So there are two major components of this alliance. The first component is that is it is a contractual relationship, nature of relationship, in which two willing individual, the client and the therapist, enter into a partnership which aims at helping the client overcome his or her problems. So the second component of this relationship is the limited duration of the therapy. We can't say that the therapy will last for 2 years, 3 years. No, it's a there will be a certain duration of the therapy. That means this therapy lasts for 14 weeks. This it doesn't mean that the therapist lasts for the number of years and the for the lifetime. No, the alliance lasts until the client become able to deal with his or her problems and take control of his or her life. So there, this relationship has several unique properties. It is a trusting and confiding relationship. The high level of trust enables the client to unburden himself or herself, so that the client can easily discuss his or her personal and psychological problems to the client. And the therapist also encourages the client by being accepting, by showing empathy, by being genuine and warm to the client, and by being non-judgmental, and he reflects all these through his behaviors and provide positive show same positive feelings towards the client, even the client is rude or say wrong things to the therapist. So this is known as unconditional positive regard which the therapist has for the client. The second thing is empathy. The therapist shows empathy towards the client, which is totally different from the sympathy. Empathy means putting oneself into someone's shoes, and try to feel the same way the client is feeling. So empathy enriches the therapeutic relationship, and when empathy is present, one is able to understand the plight of another person and feel like the other person. And the therapist must not exploit the trust and the confidence of the client in any way. So finally, it is a professional relationship and must remain so. Why we say it as professional? We there it's it can't be it can't be like a relationship of like brother and sister, and it can't be like a relationship of friends. So that's why we call it as a professional relationship. So here we will try to understand the different parameters on which we can classify psychotherapies. So students, as you know that there are different types of psychotherapies available in psychology. So all psychotherapies aims at removing human distress and fostering effective behavior. but they all differ greatly in their concept, in their methods, and the techniques they use. So psychotherapies can be broadly, classified into three groups. That is, the one is psychodynamic, the second is behavior, and the third is existential psychotherapy. So, in terms of their chronological order, psychodynamic therapy emerged first, followed by behavioral therapy, while the existential therapies, which are also called the third force, emerged last. So, the classification of psychotherapy is based on the parameters which we will discuss now. One is, whatever the psychotherapy the psychologist or the psychotherapist is using, the first parameter for classification is what is the cause which has led to the problem. So the different, the idea behind the different psychotherapy, what is the cause, that is, what is the cause is different. Like the psychodynamic therapy is of the view that intrapsychic conflicts, that is the conflicts within the mind or present within the psyche of the person, are the cause of the psychological problem. But the behavioral therapies thinks differently. The behavioral therapy is of the view that psychological problems arise due to the faulty learning of our behaviors and cognition. Then the existential therapy states that the question about the meaning of one's life and existence are the cause of psychological problems. The second parameter of classification of psychotherapy is how did the cause come into existence. So the psychodynamic therapy thinks that unfulfilled desires of the childhood and the intrapsychic conflicts, unresolved childhood fears leads to intrapsychic conflicts. So the behavioral therapy postulates that faulty conditioning patterns, faulty learning, faulty thinking and beliefs lead to maladaptive behaviors that leads to the psychological problems. Then the existential therapy gives importance or place importance on the present. It is the current feeling, according to this, it is the current feeling of loneliness, alienation, sense of futility of one's existence, etc., which cause psychological problems. So as you can understand that there are different psychotherapies, so their ideas and their concepts are also different. The third parameter of classification of psychotherapy is what is the chief method of treatment. So, the psychodynamic therapy uses the method of free association and reporting of dreams to elicit the thoughts and feelings of the client, so which we will discuss thoroughly later. So, this material is interpreted to the client to help him or her to confront and resolve the conflicts and thus overcome problems. Behavioral therapy identifies the faulty conditioning patterns and the faulty, we can say, habits, and set up alternate or behavioral we can say contingencies to improve behavior. That means it identifies the faulty behavior and tries to modifies it and or replaces it with the correct behavior or the alternative behavior, we can say. Then the cognitive method challenges the faulty thinking patterns or the faulty thoughts of the client and help him or her to overcome his psychological distress. Then the existential therapy provides a therapeutic environment, we can say unconditional, or the provides unconditional positive regard to the client, which is totally positive, accepting and non-judgmental. So in which the client is able to talk about his or her problems, and the therapist acts as a facilitator. So the clients arrives at a solution through a process of personal growth. So the fourth parameter of classification is what is the nature of the therapeutic relationship between the client and the therapist. So here we will try to understand first what psychodynamic therapy thinks. So the psychodynamic therapy assumes that the therapist understand the client's intrapsychic conflicts better than the client, and hence it is the therapist who interprets the thoughts and feelings of the clients to him or her, so that he or she gains the you know an understanding of the same. So the behavioral therapy thinks that or assumes that the therapist is able to identify the faulty behavior and thought patterns of the client. So and the therapist is capable of finding out the correct behavior and the thought pattern which would be adaptive for the client. So both the difference between the psychodynamic and the behavioral therapy. Moreover, the psychodynamic therapy and the behavioral therapy assumes the same, that is, the therapist is capable of arriving at solution to the client's problem. But in existential therapy, the therapist acts as a facilitator only, and the therapist provides a warm and empathic relationship, provides a warm and provide empathy to the client, in which the client feels free to talk, and in which the clients feel secure to explore the nature and the cause of his or her problems by himself or herself. So the next parameter of psychotherapy or the classification of psychotherapy is what is the chief benefit to the client. So according to the psychodynamic therapy, it values emotional insight as the important benefit the client derives from the treatment. So now what is emotional insight? Emotional insight is present when the client understands his or her conflicts intellectually, is able to accept the same emotionally, and is able to change his or her emotions towards the conflict. So the behavioral therapy changes the or modifies the faulty behavioral pattern of the client, and and replaces it with the adaptive ones. And the humanistic therapy values personal growth as. So the personal growth is the chief benefit which the clients receives from humanistic therapy. And now we will try to understand what is personal growth. So personal growth is the process of gaining increasing understanding of oneself and one's aspirations, emotions and motives. The last parameter of classification of psychotherapy is what is the duration of treatment. So, according to the psychoanalysis or psychodynamic therapy, uh, it may last for several years, and the recent version of psychodynamic therapies are completed in 10 to 15 sessions, and behavior and cognitive behavioral therapies as well as existential therapies are shorter and completed in a few months. So, though there are different types of psychotherapies, differ on multiple parameters, however, they all share the common method of providing treatment for psychological distress through psychological means. Steps in the formulation of client's problem. So there are three basic steps in the formulation of client's problem. Are one is understanding of the problem. Here the therapist tries to analyze the client's problem and try to understand the distress which is experienced by the client. The second step is identification of the areas to be targeted for treatment in psychotherapy. So here the formulation or understanding of the problem clearly identify the problematic areas to be targeted for therapy. And the third step is choice of techniques for treatment. So here the choice of technique will depend upon the therapist or the therapeutic system in which the therapist has been trained. So even the choice of the techniques, timing of the techniques, expectations of outcomes of the therapy depend upon the clinical formulation. So it is not advisable to start psychotherapy without a clinical formulation.